Hello everyone. Today we will talk about prosperity thinking, the process behind prosperity thinking. Prosperity thinking, as you already saw, is an approach that aims to enable the design of a better food system and a better society, starting from the idea of prosperity that includes economical aspects, economical growth, but also social and environmental. And prosperity thinking hopes to be an evolution of design thinking. The process behind prosperity thinking include three main phases. The first one, problem framing. The second one, ideate and prototype. The third one, test and analyze. The first phase of problem framing is composed by four methods, four activities that are desk research, stakeholder system mapping, user observation and interaction, human and planet balance statement. The second phase is ideation and prototype with the two methods of brainstorming and prototype. And the last activity during the third phase is interview and test. We will close this process with a final presentation. But let's go through each method for each phase. Problem framing, why is so important? Problem framing is so important because only if we think about the right why, if we think about the right questions, if we analyze and we choose the right questions, then we can prepare and we can find the right solution, and a solution that can be meaningful for your context, for your community. And so during this phase, and thanks to these four methods, the problem challenge will be analyzed and reframed. Desk research. Desk research is an activity that will allow you to collect information about the state of art through formal sources and informal sources. You can discover looking for articles, papers, social media, scientific literature, everything that you find online. And this is why we call it desk research. And you can look for existing solutions that are aiming to solve the same problem. And also, I invite you to explore other industries, other areas, because innovation often starts looking at different solutions in different industries and collect what could be interesting for you. The second method is stakeholder system map. This activity will allow you to create a map identifying the most relevant stakeholders, from primary to tertiary stakeholders. The primary stakeholders are the stakeholders that are the most important for you, and they will probably be the core target of your solution. But this is not the moment to focus on solution. This is the moment to map all the people, the organizations, companies that are close to the context that your challenge is about. The secondary stakeholders are the stakeholders that are in some way connected to the primary. So we can say also direct stakeholder. And the last circle, tertiary stakeholders, are the, let me say, indirect stakeholders. User observation and interaction. This is very important. This is very important because very often people started to think about idea solution and to prepare and to design a solution or reframe the problem without going outside the office, outside your room, and without empathizing with the community. So the goal of this activity is start to understand what are the feeling, what is important for the core stakeholders that you want to take in consideration. And so during this phase, I invite you to go out, observe. I invite you to have a mindset of the observer, a mindset that allow you to be curious, will allow you to discover new things. So again, I invite you to go out of your comfort zone and talk, observe, empathize, take notes about the stakeholders that are the most important for your challenge. And then last but not least, we have human planet balance statement. Again, this is very important, of course, because connect the dots between human and planet need. But again, this is very important because to truly innovate for sustainability and to regenerate our food system, to regenerate our society, we need to identify the right question. And this is the example, one of the possible example of challenge that takes into consideration planetary, human, and the most important stakeholder. Because at this point, when you are rephrasing the challenge, you had to choose one actor, one stakeholder. Then we can really start to come up with different solutions and ideas. And after that, you will choose one idea or one cluster of ideas that are similar. And starting from this cluster or this idea, you will create a prototype. Brainstorming is a method that will allow you to look for new, exciting, divergent, unusual ideas and solutions. This is the time to think big. This is the time to be really open, to be creative. And I invite you, do not stop thinking about what is feasible, how much this costs. I invite you to think big. And again, in order to have the highest number of ideas, you need to work well as a group, and you need to be positive and optimistic. After that, you have created tons of ideas, and you have clusterized these ideas, and you have chosen one idea or cluster idea. The last phase of the last method of this phase is the prototyping. A prototype is a representation of an idea, and a prototype can be usually the designers say quick and dirty. That means it's not important if the prototype is beauty or is perfect. This is not important. What is very important is that the prototype should show aspects, characteristics, features that you want to show to the audience, to your team members, to other team members, to the community. You will have time to iteratively work on that. So, and now this is also very important. I ask you to prepare and realize the prototype that showcase the vision of the future in a tangible way. It could be physical, it could be digital. Both examples are right. The last phase, test and analyze. In the last phase, as we saw before about observing, going outside of your comfort zone and talk with the real people, with the real community, I invite you to take your prototype, physical or digital, and to test it. Interviews a test is an iterative task, and I invite you to find 6 to 9. I mean, this is the best case. If you arrive to test the prototype with 3 people, 4 people, it's also pretty good. But theoretically, 6 to 9 tests can reveal 80% of your project, ideas, problem, and will allow you to find so a lot of insights. And this is, of course, a low investment activity because the prototype is low fidelity, so it's not perfect, but show enough to have a significant impact on efficiency, effectiveness, and satisfactions. Other insights for you: in order to prepare this test, these are some rules. So identify the number of stakeholders that is affordable for the time you have, for the effort that you can do. And one tip can be try to invite the same people that you have interviewed or observed during the first phase. Plan a test session, then introduce yourself, explain the purpose, explain that you are not testing people, but only the idea, the solution. And then prepare a few questions and try to identify the most important questions that can be useful to find the most important problems. Ask participants to think aloud, listen, and take notes. So you can come back to your team and work on the insights and improve your solution. And so this is the last phase of the process. And thank you.